Do you need bass on your tracks but you don't own a bass? Well, Toontrack have just released a plugin that is perfect for you, Easy Bass. Easy Bass is software that allows you to write a bass line even though you may not be a bassist yourself. Let's take a look. As you can see, you're met with this really clean interface, and it defaults to this Easy Bass Modern, but you can choose between a vintage or modern bass, and I think the vintage bass looks and sounds great. Another thing that Toontrack have done really well is they've given a choice of fingerstyle or pick style bass and all these different options. So for instance, right now I'm clean DI, which sounds nice. And you can go clean DI pick. You can immediately hear that difference. This would be great for like the heavier track. I'm working with a funkier track, so I found that vintage warm in fingerstyle just sounds really nice. And let me give you a preview of the track. There's just a little intro section there. So let's dive in, let's write some bass for this. So you go to add groove and it just opens this up to default. So I'm working with 2 chords for the intro. So immediately I'll just cut this down to 2 chords. First chord is an A minor 7. So let's find where is A minor there. And the second chord is an E7. And it defaults to these 8th notes like this. Which, you know, is fine, but it's kind of boring, especially with that funky rhythm. Now you can change things directly in this without going into any of these other things up here. We'll go into that in a minute. So you can change the transitions. You can go on a short one. All this means it's going to add another short note in the transition between chords. So check it out. I'll just copy and paste one of these over just so you get a nice feel of that transition. Which is nice. It definitely has a little bit more of a dynamic. You can do a long two note. Kind of cool again. You can slide in. That's all great, but it's still a little bit boring. So we can go up to the grid editor here, and you met with all the notes. And this is, you can basically do anything. And the nice thing is, if you want a more human feel and not MIDI feel, you can randomize velocity here. And then say we came to really mess with all this up. Keep in mind that the first note is an A minor 7. So it starts on that A. Let's swing the second note to a C and have a slide effect there. And then with the E7, that second note is going to be a G sharp. Let's move that up, and that slides back down. Very quickly you're changing the notes and the feel, and you can go into it even more because you can change the bass effect. So if I want this note here, you can go up here, and it gives you all these different choices. You can have it a ghost note, different finger options even, if you want it tapping, slap and pop. It's not available in my current sound because it's vintage modern. So let's add a tap to that second. Check this out. Kind of weird, but kind of cool. And of course, like if you wanted to check out in the track anytime, you can just click outside it and the interface stays as the main screen. Hit play. Kind of cool. And again, if you wanted to randomize those notes even more, that just randomizes the velocity. So it's a slight more human feel to it. So if I still wasn't getting the rhythm I wanted, Easy Bass comes loaded in with a bunch of different groove presets. and you can just play out different grooves. So we're in a funky, or let's say I want a disco groove, soft bass line, and then you can just go and check out the different groove presets they have. So say I like this one. You can load it into the chords you already have by say replace MIDI, and as you can see down here, now we can check it out. I'll hit save changes, get rid of that second one, copy and paste this over, let's check out in the track. It definitely adds some different kind of elements and feel. I kind of like it. But again, say I wasn't perfectly happy with it and there was still something missing. You can go up here to the tap to find, and it'll immediately play the tempo of the track that you're playing with. And then you can just come in anytime and click the rhythm. So go like, apologies for the performance. You can even come in here and move the notes around. Let's play this. And what it'll do is it'll go through its own library and try and match the rhythm as best as possible. And it'll give you this section here where it says how much it matches. So this is a 78% match. So again, you just click on that, replace MIDI, save changes, and it comes up with the A minor and the E7, A minor 7 and the E7. Another great feature is the audio tracker. Now this is awesome. So if you have some audio, say I've got this drum beat here, drop it in, percussive audio to bass MIDI, it gives you all these different options. So all this means is if you didn't want any slides in, you just deselect that. If you didn't want a grace note, deselect that. You know, you get the feel. Click OK. And then what this does, as you can hear, it just matches the rhythm of the audio you load in, which is super quick. And you can just come and grab these notes and move them around. And then you go to the G sharp, go up an octave, back to the E again. So you can do so much. Add MIDI to Songtrack. So as you can see here, here's the first bit of MIDI. Come into the second bit. Let's listen to that in the track. So quick, so easy. Toontrack have done a wonderful job with the interface, and I know it's taken them a couple of years to get to where they're at now, but I definitely recommend getting this, especially if you don't have a bass at home or any ability to record a bass. This is super quick. It's helped with my songwriting hugely. You know, I'm not a bass player. I can record bass, I have one, but would I get it to this quality and with all the different grooves and the different feels that you can do? There's no way. So it adds another dynamic to your songwriting just there. So I definitely recommend this plugin. I think it's fantastic. I've had a lot of fun with it so far, and I've only scratched the surface with what you can do with it. If you do get it, let me know. I'd love to hear what you make. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, And we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.